Hey everyone, in this lesson I'll show you how to play this cool blues rock solo in the style of ZZ Top. Each lick and trick that we'll use here is inspired by great Billy Gibbons himself. So by the end of this video you will not only be able to play this solo from start to finish, you'll also understand what makes it sound like ZZ Top, and you will be able to use all these tips and tricks in your own solos and improvisations. Billy Gibbons is one of the greatest blues and rock guitarists of all time. He's not doing anything crazy or fancy with his guitar, he's playing pretty basic stuff, to be honest. But each and single note that he's playing sounds really tasty and stylish, and that's what we'll try to replicate today. If this is your first time watching us, my name is Andrew and welcome to the First Fret Lessons. Our goal is to help you become a guitarist people will want to listen to. And without further ado, let's get right into it. Okay, we are in the key of B and in the first box of B minor pentatonic. We're gonna stay here for most of the solo. And here's our first lick. We start with this bend on the B string. Billy Gibbons loves to start his solos with it. Sometimes he's doing the full bend, and sometimes he's doing something like this. You play this note, and then start bending really slowly. Not to any particular note, not like half tone or full tone, just play the note, let it ring for a bit, and then start bending. And if you add a rake here, it will be even better, instead of just. And then most of the beginner guitarists or guitarists not familiar with blues would play it like this. It's alright, but this sounds much better. So what am I doing here? I start with this slide to the 9th fret on the G. Then I'm playing fret 7 with the microbend and root note 2 times. However, the second time I'm adding a slide and a vibrato here. So instead of I got, it sounds much better, much bluesier. And yeah, this is one of the blues and Billy Gibbons tricks. Instead of just playing basic notes, do something interesting. Slide, microbend. And then here's one more cool trick, doing a full bend with your index finger. It's not that easy, but it sounds really great. Usually we bend with ring finger or with middle, but bends with index finger, they just sound different. I don't know why is it so, but you can hear the difference. And there's something special about it. We start with the hammer on, bend, and then play this note with vibrato. Okay, our full lick sounds like this. And you can even add pitch harmonic here if you want. Sounds good without it as well. Now let's get to the second lick. It starts with this move. Billy Gibbons really loves it, and I'm pretty sure you heard it a lot of times in their songs. Alright, we move to the second box, to this position, and we play this famous lick. You could have heard this move in Lagrange solo or in I'm Bad I'm Nationwide, even one of the most recent ones, I Got to Get Paid. Sometimes you need to play stuff like this clean, so that each note is separate, but here we can make them ring at the same time and it will sound great. So we start with slide and then play 3 notes like this, and then slide again but play only 3 notes this time, so... And then we slide back here, do a micro bend here and finish with vibrato on the root note. So here's our next lick. We do a full bend here, then hammer on and vibrato. And once again, you can start with rake here. So and if you're enjoying this lesson, please subscribe to our channel. We'll really appreciate your support. As you can see, there are almost 0 notes which are played like this, as they are. Almost each and every single one of them has either hammer, bend, vibrato, slides, and that's what makes your playing sound like a human voice, if you know what I mean. So yeah, keep that in mind. And one more tip. If you're trying to play in the style of some guitarist, pay attention to not only when he's playing, pay attention to when he's not playing, because the moments of silence are really important. You know, the solo could have been much busier. It could have been something like... If you don't have any space between your licks, it sounds a little bit daunting. It sounds bad in my opinion. And you can learn a lot of stuff about that from Billy Gibbons. His solos are never too busy. He knows how to use silence and how to use space. So pay attention to that as well. The next lick is a pretty common blues lick. I could have played it here in the first box, but I decided to move to the third box instead. It's just a personal preference. I like the sound of B and G strings more than E and B. So here's our lick. We finish with the bend, and it's a pretty special bend. You know, you're not trying to hit any particular note here, just bend it high. It's like almost 1.5 step bend. It's somewhere between these 2 notes. You mute it and then... And now you do just a full bend. So... And don't forget about vibrato, of course. And by the way, if you want to get 5 really useful lessons which are not available on YouTube, be sure to check the link in the description. And don't worry, they are totally free. Our next lick is... We start with this micro bend, pull off, and now we'll use some pitch harmonics, one of the Billy Gibbons' signature moves. Pitch harmonics always sound nice on the lower strings, and Billy Gibbons loves to use them here, so we finish our lick like this, finish on the root notes with vibrato. So we'll continue to mess around with the pitch harmonics now. On the D string, fret 7 and fret 9. Just play it 3 times. You can add some dirt here, you know? You don't have to play this perfectly. You can mute lower strings and add some rakes. Sometimes try to change the balance all the time while staying here. And now we're going to use these double stops. Billy Gibbons loves to use them. You could have heard it in a lot of his solos. I'm Bad, I'm Nationwide, for example. You start with a single note, then double stop on the 9th fret. You bend it half step up and then release. then double stop on the 7th fret, pull off here, go back to the root, and one more double stop. And our last lick sounds like this. You bend this note, and then once again, pretty common lick by Billy Gibbons, just going down the pentatonic scale. Gimme All 11 has a lick like this, once again, Lagrange, and many of his songs. So we start on the root note, we skip one step, and play 7 frets on the B. And here's how we finish. Pretty interesting move. Instead of just... I'm doing this really fast bend and release with my index finger. Like... And then I keep bending, but very slowly. So I'm doing fast bend release. I go back to the notes and then bend it like 1/4 tone up. Or you can do it with a slide if you want. I like bends, so... Okay, and now let me play this whole solo from start to finish. 1, 2, 3, 4. There you go. If you love blues rock and want to learn even more cool stuff, be sure to check one of these 2 videos out. And alright, I hope you enjoyed this lesson. Thank you for watching. See you next time. Bye bye.